Find a bunch of random stones. Here I have some random stones. Maybe baseball size. They don't have to be huge. Just something you have on your own property. And we're going to make a stone circle the way I make stone circles. Follow your intuitive voice and create. So here we have our stone circle that we made with just random stones that I had on the property. You can do the same. I didn't measure anything. I made it as round as I could, as simply as I could. And now we'll leave this stone circle and come back to it later. My name is Jody Albert Moss, and this evening I'm going to share a few of the things that I do in my life on my property, some of the dowsing techniques that I use, stone circles, different ways that I work with energies, with sticks, with stones, with the land. Everything that I'm going to show you, I challenge you to try in your own life, at your own house. Find your own stones and use your own dowsing devices. Everything that I will share with you is duplicatable. I encourage you to move forward. We're the engineers of the future. I use a lot of natural materials in my work with the Earth's energies and geopathic stress, EMFs, energies that are not in harmony with people. So around my property, and I'll show you, I have stones on fence posts, I have stones hanging from trees, I have stone circles. These are the ways I use natural stone to help combat against the energies that aren't welcome here. I believe that if we take the steps necessary to harmonize the energies around our living environments, we as humans, as physical beings, our lives are enhanced. We don't have to continually be fighting those negative energies. They're taken care of outside our homes, outside our properties. So if you come with me, I'll go around and I'll show you a few of the things I've done on my property, and I'll use my L-rods to show the energies coming off of them. This is just a natural limestone boulder that I had some nylon rope and a blue ribbon, and I hung it up in the tree. The height was determined by my inner voice, you know, that intuitive voice that we follow. This stone has been hanging in this tree for probably 5 years now, and it's helping to combat the negative energies around the property, coming at the property. I have a highway next to my home, condominiums, and power lines. And these stones help me protect my property. We're zooming in on the limestone stone hanging in the tree to show you where it is. And then we'll zoom back out and put me into the picture. So I'm going to give the command to my L-rod to swing to the left when I come in contact with the energy from the hanging stone, and then watch what happens. L-rod, swing to the left when I'm in contact with the energy from the hanging stone. See the L-rod swing to the left? As I walk away, it straightens out again. Watch the L-rod. As we zoom in a bit, you'll see the limestone boulder hanging from the tree in the L-rod. Natural limestone stones and granite stones. I put them on the fence posts. You'll see these stones all around my property. They help to harmonize the energy. My parents for years didn't believe me about this stone, so my dad eventually went ahead and put stones on his fence posts around the property up north. And guess what? Lots of wild turkeys, lots of wildlife, lots of songbirds they never had before. As soon as they put the stones up, there they were. You can see the hydro wires, the condos, the traffic. And there's my stone hanging from the tree to help balance the energy. I have them in most of the trees around the property. It's made a huge difference in our living environment. This one's a little bigger, but I have also put 3 stones in the shape of a 3-sided triangle around my property. But again, even this stone, I was able to move it with just a 2-wheel dolly. So I'm not talking about huge stuff. Just natural stone is the key. The key to harmonizing energies. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one L-rod and show you the energy coming from this standing stone. And you'll notice a lot of background noise, a lot of things going on around the place where I live. I live in the city. This is all duplicatable. You can do this at your own homes. Watch the L-rod now. This is showing the energy being transmitted off the stone. Natural stones accumulate random energy from the highway, the people living across the street, the hydro wires. And they convert it and retransmit it back out away from my home. They harmonize the energies. They're our friends. L-rod, swing to the left to show me how far the energy from this stone goes. now you can see where I am and where the stone is. It's transmitting energy, harmonizing energy. What I'm showing you are the things that I do in my own home. Very duplicatable. The most important thing is inexpensive. You can go find all these materials. You don't have to spend any money. You can buy more elaborate devices if you like, if you have the means, but never let lack of money, lack of knowledge interfere with your willingness to try. The messages I get tell me to use the simplest materials that I can find so that others can do and duplicate and follow the process and help themselves. Civilizations have been working with stone for thousands of years, literally thousands of years. They put stones around the land, stones all over the place. They use dolmens, stone circles, standing stones, a lot of which we're still trying to figure out, still trying to learn what the messages were. You know, a lot of the dowsers have gone to the sacred sites and they use their pendulums and their L rods, and they determine that there's so many veins of water and so many different things happening at these specific locations where the stones are. I personally have always had a problem with that, because especially when they built the old cathedrals, I find it hard to believe that the old dowsers, the old energy workers, had a list of conditions that they needed to find in order to put these stones over them, in order to build these cathedrals over them. You know, we need to go and find a spot where 14 veins of water intersect, and there's blind springs, there's all kinds of different conditions that we need to meet, and then we can put the standing stones in the cathedral there. I don't know, that doesn't resonate with me. I'm from the school and the train of thought that the old dowsers, the old energy workers, put the stones there, put the cathedrals there, and then brought the energies. Mind, energy alchemy. They visualized, they manifested. This is where my research has taken me, that train of thought. I believe the old stonemasons, the old medicine people of the villages, the communities, they brought the energies, and they used stones and structures to ground them. And by doing ritual and ceremony moving forward, they enhanced those energies. I think we have a lot to learn from that. Here's my stone circle in the woods behind the house. Simple stone circle. Small stones, don't need anything huge. This circle's been here for 6 years. Balancing and harmonizing the energies, protecting our home. See, just little stones, but it works. So here I am, I'm standing on the edge of the stone circle, and I'm going to use my L rod, and I'm just going to walk out. So just watch the L rod as I move away from the stone circle. You see the movement of the L-rod? It's showing the bands of energy coming off the stone circle. And each band, if you watch the L-rod, appears to be, I'd say, 6 to 8 inches. It's been said that these bands of energies will transmit off a stone circle, sometimes up to 7 miles. So if we all simply just put stone circles on our property, in our homes, little ones, big ones, we can help the energy in our communities and help the people living there. It's that simple. Just get a bunch of small stones and make a circle. So here we are back at the stone circle that we made earlier. I've done nothing to it. It's just been sitting here. Watch my L-rod. It's that fast. We just made that circle probably 20 minutes ago, and the bands of energy are already coming off that. This is what I show in my dowsing course. The people that take the course, we make the circle in the beginning of the class, and in the end, we show them the bands of energy coming off them, and they just can't believe it. It's that simple. We have to think outside the box, get rid of our programming. We are the engineers of the new future. What you think, you can create. It's very effective. This is old technology, thousands of years old. The ancients knew of its power and how to work it. We have to learn and carry it forward into the future. I've spent my life seeking, wondering about the earth, about the energies, about the Arcturians. I was born with a star map on my leg. I talk about it in my book, The Time Is Now. It's the Big Dipper, and off the handle, it shows the planet Arcturus. That's on my right leg. I never knew what it meant until I was in my mid-30s. It shows the planet Arcturus. So I knew I had an Arcturian connection, and I've spent my life trying to figure it out, trying to strengthen that connection. I started out with Earth's energies, much like you've seen in the previous videos. I follow the intuitive direction and guidance that I've been receiving. The message from the Arcturians is that they have been here for a long time, and they are here to assist us, but they cannot interfere. They can just transmit information that we can receive and use to enhance our lives, changing our frequency, allowing us to receive the information and guidance that we need to move ahead in our lives. This is a sand casting. It's where I use sand to work with energies, to bring the energies in and focus on one spot. I made my first sand casting 30 years ago, probably over 30 years ago. And I've been working with them ever since. If I have a need, or I'm doing a healing with someone, we do a sand casting. It helps to focus energies and relay information on many levels. This was probably the first process that was shared with me from my Arcturian connection. Again, for people who may not know, Arcturians are high dimensional beings, energies. Often they don't have a title, they don't have a name, other than the fact that their origin is Arcturus. They've been sharing information with me for all of my life. These sand castings I've made in all designs, all shapes and sizes. I've even made them big enough that when I teach students, we can sit in them and meditate. Feel the energy. Tune in. I do these sand castings in my Arcturian Star Lodge. Something interesting, energetic that I wanted to share. The Arcturians taught me to work with frequencies, energies. 369 became very important to me. These handheld Arcturian power rods are over 30 years old. You can see the wear on them. I've used them, carried them with me, gone on jobs, cleared homes with them. This rod here is called the Arcturian NP13 rod. Converts negative energies to positive energies in 13 seconds or less. This is the Arcturian Auric Balancer. It works on energy fields, on properties, homes, people, animals, trees, anything that has life force energy can be enhanced. Both these rods were designed to be used with pendulums or L rods. Color is very important as well. It helps with the frequencies. This is the Arcturian Tekoa symbol. Tekoa, the key of ascension. I write about this symbol in my book, The Time Is Now, and how I painted it on the wall in my house. This is an expression of Arcturian energy. I use it in guided meditations and guided visualizations where we actually enter the symbol and work with the energies and the frequencies. This symbol has been a very big part of my life for close to 30 years now. Just another way the Arcturians communicated to me. I listened, acknowledged, and I actually painted this. This is my book, The Time Is Now. It has the Arcturian Tekoa symbol on the cover. I share a lot in this book about my life in the early years, when I didn't understand what was going on, experiences I was having, right up through my awakening, my realization of my Arcturian connection, the creation of the Tekoa symbol, a lot of adventures I've had in my life, and how I first started receiving information to build the Arcturian Auric Balancer. It's been well received in 5 countries now. Lots of great reviews. This is my Arcturian Star Lodge. It's a 3-sided triangle, about 5 feet tall. There's a wood stove in there for fire. There's air, there's earth, there's water, the elements. The blue structure with the stones is the evolution of the Arcturian Star Lodge. It's a 9-sided structure which will be about 9 to 12 feet tall. And it'll be used for doing Arcturian energy work on the land again. Everything comes back to the land and the connection with the land. From the rods to the pendants to the sand casting, everything's connected. I talk about it in my book, The Time Is Now. Acknowledge that you're receiving information, receive it, and act upon it. Acting upon it is so very important. When you take a step, more information comes. I shared with you a little part of my life. Dowsing has been a very important part of my understanding. From working with the sand castings to building the devices, I use dowsing to give me clarity. I use dowsing to confirm the information I'm receiving. When I need to make a new incense, to work with the vibration, to receive better information, I use my pendulum. I go down charts. I find the right herbs to use and the proper ratios for the blends. Dowsing has helped in locations, telling me where to put the standing stones, telling me what kind of stones. Dowsing was instrumental in getting me out of that has to be done this way attitude. Has to be done the way everyone else does it. You know, I talk about it in my book, The Time Is Now. When I just took my pendulum and I asked, is there an energy that hasn't been discovered yet? Then I fell off my chair when I got a yes response over and over again. We are the engineers of the future. Get out of that box, get off your couch. Let's move ahead together.